like that as well, it's gonna be rough.
Give me another rough circle. That's what I want to see. It's the final game of the weekend. Sims and Pansy, bring us the plane.
Will do. Starting off towards Georgia Pole, we've got a very different plane path. Going to open up opportunities for teams who maybe felt a little hard done by with that incredibly southern approach. But it does head down towards Sosnovka Island. So unless you're a team that really does love Kameshki or maybe Lipovka, you're pretty happy with this.
You know what I'm happy with? Seeing DA #1. Like, these guys have worked their asses off, and they've been getting better and better and better, and they've really started to step it up over the course of this year. Seeing them at the top of the spot, again, that cannot... I'm going to have to stop again, Lauren. There's another hot drop. It's Sauna Boys and ETG just are not giving up, unless they're going to fly on, but I don't think you can at this point. They've committed to it.
No.
They're just going to beat the hell out of each other in Gatka. What's going to happen?
Back to the sandpit, the children go. They're arguing over the tiny toys that are in there, the little bucket and spade. Well, we've got a pistol. Have we ever seen a pistol kill in a PCS game, in a pro level match? I'm not sure, but we might get it. No, he's found a better gun. Right, so it looks like if you look at the cut of what they've been able to get away with, ETG do have the better buildings for now, I would say personally. It's just, I mean, Forever's got himself a little Vector, so I'm always on board for a Vector. Anonymous has what looks like nothing but hopes and dreams, so I mean, we'll see how he does in this. No Extendo Mago, so not the full party, but you never know, could have some fun here. And the circle's kind of slap bang centralized just kind of northwest of Shelter, if you want to look at it that way. The big crossroads around there is your center point. It'll probably shift north because of the water kind of around that area. So we'll see where it goes to, but right now we have the children in the sandpit having a little bit of a biff. One's stolen, the other's dummy now. There's no vest on him. Like, can we just go through the gear? Because, like, we've got no vest. Ah, 2'd up, but a UMP. You're not sure if you love to see it. Who else do we have here? Sakura?
Specifically.
got no helm out. Here we go. Here we go. What is this? I feel like I could just cast this like it's Counter-Strike. You know what I mean? This is the map. This is it. That's all that's going on. 4v4 situation now. Nookie going to be using that Thompson. Really not known to be a great weapon up close and personal. Not sure how Uber's died because, as said, we are on board in what looks like maybe a Counter-Strike map, Call of Duty map. Like, just this area. That's it. That little fence. That's the limit. You can't go outside. Forever looking to plant the bomb now. I'm kidding. It's just, this is an awkward stalemate.
I do want to see if Sakura can actually ironside that Kar 98 he's just found. That'd be sick if he's got the 7.62. Well, he does.
I love the iron sights on them.
The barrel. It's doable. I don't mind playing with the 2 or a 3 times on a K9. I think it feels all right. There's obviously a distance limit to how far you can actually go with that thing, but it's still nice to see. Bears are at least back on the feet. Just a little bit of an accident happened. They need to get off the bridge, as you can see, all the way down towards Sosnovka Island. Anyone else really in close proximity? DA going earlier. I'll take the central area. I'm totally fine with that. And then we hop back on board with this. So I'll try and, if I see any obscurities on this is probably the run over. Yes. Let's just don't queue. I'm really sorry. Please don't get rid of me, Uber. It's only you can hear him whispering. Quick slide into him. But Phaser are up, 4-man stack, and away we go. Quepta and Youth have both been hurt. Whether an Anonymous has actually had return fire also. Question is, was that a grenade to get so much damage, or was it just from the cross? I'd assume it would be from the cross.
Keep in mind, people might not have vests. Yeah, so like maybe 1 or 2 bullets will honestly do a lot of damage at this point.
Even if it's that's what's kind of scary. Oh,
seat swap smash almost got battered, but Mert's got his back, so that's gonna be Redline going. Yeah, that compound no go. We do have the knock on Nookie. Do they push on this? We've got a flash coming in. Misa fully blind now. They could receive the pressure. Forever tries to push up, dies for it. Sakura punishes. And Anonymous still trying to hold on to this compound by himself, or at least the building by himself. Does have himself a barrel at least. A little bit of an upgrade over the UMP potentially. But we'll see if Thunder can show him how it's done with the UMP. Did he see anything of that? I don't think he did, so he's going to probably get timed on this. Misa's going to be holding in the building. 2'd up, though, so decent enough gear. And Nookie Going to be in a good enough spot to hold the cross, but Sakura has been found. Forever's obviously knocked at the same time, but they want to counter push this one. Nookie around the corner, but doesn't check far enough. Doesn't check his corners deep enough. And bear in mind, he doesn't even have a vest, so I don't really blame him.
Yeah, that's the thing. The gun's not the best out of all the gear that people are going to be rocking, and no vest also makes it that much more harder. Phase clan transition, Melman's there. Damage is done.
Ooh,
it is perfection. Gustav, back of the bike. I'd say might not fair distance as well. He does get out of there, and that's totally fine. Anonymous falls, and ETG are looking to tie this one up. But if it's a scoreboard and hot drops, it was 2-1 in the favor. The Sauna boys now, unless that these two inside this little building, this little wooden shack, can go ham. This will be all drawn up. Look at Jempty, though, in the distance. He's in back building onto this. He does a bit of damage, and he scares off and wears them back into that shack. I mean, it might be a time at some point, honestly. If Omakan don't surround them and clear them up and say thank you very much for the 3 points, then ETG just try and get the hell out of there. But really, in terms of vehicles, I mean, I can see that there's a buggy in the distance, but Omakan just could be mopping up the vehicles around them and kill them in the fields running.
I mean, for Omakan, do you really want to be sucked into this, though? This whole, like, awkward fight? Krepta, is he just forgetting that Omakan were nearby? Because he's being pretty bold with this. Probably wouldn't be on the roof right now if I just heard shots coming through towards us from far away with a substantially better gun. While this happens, though, closing on towards the center point, you still have DA in a good spot, Pink Ponies, Redline, Team Liquid in a good spot, TSM as well. There we go. We actually almost had a Thompson flush, and we do. Bloody hell, what is going on? And the Mutant can't quite do it. Sauna Boys in 16th. Weird champ.
T-Bone stepped up to the plate, though. He's here and he's arrived on time. Try and checks the windows for any revives coming through, and if he is on point, then it will be good, but the vehicle has been noted. Thunderlost will hold the window. A second player turns up to this one. My only concern is if Omakan hit this one individually. We know that's one of their big downsides, is when one person falls, there's no one really in a position to get the revive, and the instant flushes do come through. It's their worst attribute.
I just think that Omakan's gear is...
to...
It's just so much better, though.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, for ETG, yeah, they some of them were 2'd up, some have, you know, decent enough guns, but, like, look at this around here, and bear in mind that Omakan have vehicles. If they want to bounce, they can. Whereas for ETG, I don't know what they've got left. Not a whole lot. And here comes the blue. I'm sure meds will be quite low as well. So once again, if Omakan think, oh, this isn't worth it, they can head on. They can sit there on the circle and actually fully gatekeep, whereas ETG get left with, right, we'll take our 3 bandages and my UMP and run it in. Like, there really isn't a good outcome to this for either team. And if the possibility of this constant hop drop kept happening, the map's pretty available. There's plenty of other areas to go to that could yield you the same sort of loot as sharing Gatka. So, you know, I mean, that's it for this week, at least when it comes to this question mark of a fight, but we'll be, I'll definitely be keeping an eye on that going forward, going, well, I wonder if they're going to continue to do...
My people need me. Must return.
And now Jempty's knocked. Why have you come here? This place just isn't good. Don't come here. Leave this cursed area alone, Omakan. You've been sucked into this, like, vortex of just nasty. It's just straight up nastiness.
Oh, boy. Well, there's going to have to be a quick revive. He is not only bleeding out, but, yeah, it's... You're right, Lauren. And again, what do we speak about feeding kills? Unfortunately, it's not gone the way. Yes, I understand that shouldn't happen to Jempty. But here we are. Actually, with that kill, I'm just wondering, I'm looking at the scoreboard, if there is potential that ETG have actually just jumped the Sauna boys. Oh, no. Omakan, not like this, guys. Not like this. For God's sake. You're in 9th position. Don't die to this mess. Like...
Hey, right. I'm gonna start paying attention to the bigger picture of where other teams are going, because this is no one wins from this scenario. Northern Lights to me way more important of a fight here going down. Let's keep eyes on this. WS, and Northern Lights. Now, Batulin's again knocked. A little unfortunate for him. He's been kind of not, I don't want to say struggling, but he's kind of offered himself up, it feels like, a couple of times as the first man in. Now, the Wanderer and Offstring trying to pressure this further. Molly's being lobbed in, nades. If that spreads far enough, it could prove a problem, but I don't think it does. It's just a little on the outskirts. So Windstreak do get to keep applying the pressure, but I don't think they're going to get the reward they were after.
They've committed 3 to this of Windstreak, and by doing this, they're leaving Maxi back in heaven. At least gives Overwatch and denies any kind of real backstab from any other players or teams that want to try and rush into this in third party. Kemba goes for an even more deeper off angle. He'll be able to go up into the apartment block and maybe get vision. Depends what scope he's got on that SKS. We'd have to assume a decent one, otherwise he won't be going this far. Lou comes through with a banger of a nade, though. Up on the roof we go. The Wanderer trying to tackle this from up high. Players down low. If the smokes are there, they don't realize he's climbed up onto this. This could be a beautiful little sneaky play. If they don't check it, they're in danger. Danger from afar. Danger from up high as well. Bottlenecks them down. Has to hit the deck because now they know the position. The nade is there, and it will get perfectix, but they can't go forward. By going forward, then it opened up to the player that is just off camera, Kemba, who might be able to get vision in it, but it's actually responded. Spyro knocks him down. They'll be able to continue the final. Look at that instant spray to the side of Maxi. Kemba and Maxi need to get the cars. They've lost 1. They've lost 2. Don't lose any more. Just get out and call it a day, boys.
Oh dear. Some of these fights have been really brutal for curious positioning, let's call it that way. With the circle kind of changing around, let's kind of look who's in the prime positions. I like where Liquid are. I'm a little bit scared for Jeems, but, you know, we make choices and we live with the outcome. FaZe taking up... Is that Mansion up there? It is, yes. So they're going to be sitting towards Mansion. Ents towards the east of them. Actually taking a lot of territory here. Now, we do have play towards Shelter. I still think Shelter is, like, one of my favorite areas. I still love seeing the potential of fights down below. Like, do you remember when DA completely, like... Was it Liquid's chances they completely trashed? Yeah, like, I loved that fight, man. That just makes me ridiculously happy. I do enjoy those sort of things. Now, the vast majority of teams are kind of sitting more towards, if you imagine this circle kind of as is, northeast side, central and northeast. Alec absolutely hates that Jeep. You know, it just didn't perform the way he wanted. No, he just blocked the way in now. No way through it, no way to use it. You can't actually escape or go in through that entrance, so it's actually quite a smart bit of play to close it through. And now we're going to have, so basically safe, you know, it makes a bit of a safety area for them, so you're going to have the pink ponies unable to use maybe the car seats to get through and in and out. Omicron have made it in, and we do still see the absolute, none of the words I can say on air, fight with ETG maybe continue, but we have the circle closing towards kind of the west side of prison. And FaZe are full sending here, Rich.
ETG have more players on the field, Lauren, than what Oma can do. That is just a travesty in itself. Everyone will send it towards the prison side, and because of the bystander's position, you will note if you've been watching PCS throughout this year, we have had a fair amount of finish down on this side. The circles do roll from the top side of prison, and because you don't have too much of the old lumber mill, a lumber yard in play, it could, honestly, it could end either side of that road, with it just cutting it straight through the middle like a yin and yang picture. We can either go to the new area, or the newly more modified area, if you will, when the new area girl came in with the trench on the opposing side, which Ents are currently controlling. Well, WS have kind of made note of it, and they're trying to get into it, but Ents have a very... Well, they have a very strong 2-2. They have one actually behind it. This is fine. We continue. TSM worries me, Lauren. I've got a
rough game.
Favorite cameraman's like
it's just like nothing's gone right for them.
Yeah. TSM, big old shift down south. They will come in on the southern side of the circle. My only issue is that there is a blockade. You have the remnants of Shift W, and you have Na'Vi in a very, very big old split. TSM are going to have to fight for their entrance point here, and I don't know how many players they keep alive through it.
I'm with you. TSM, if they keep going east, what you got Kilyakai and I think Chris waiting. Yeah, you can just see their names in the feed there just at the top. So if they kind of skirt the edge, whether or not Kilyakai goes for a shot here, because he is on his own. Yes, Chris is like on the other side of the lumberyard, so I think it's time for Kilyakai just to be so... Oh, no, they were tracking the vehicles, and just by pure surprise, they were like, Oh, who's this? Who's this man in the woods chilling out? No, 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 no. Quick little shot there. That's him gone. Very unfortunate. Chris now needs to fall back to the rest of Shift W. As we know with Shift W, they like to play those weird splits, and they were doing that. Two of them are in the compound that's on the east side of prison, that kind of like standalone little, cluster of buildings. So Chris might fall back towards the cliffs, maybe overlooking on the east side of prison, or maybe go right towards the rest of Shift W. We'll see. TSM have got themselves in the southeast.
If WS go for this, there is a double drop there, side by side. Like, if they get both of those players tanked up with level 3 gear, like, that gives them some kind of a standing chance. It's not much, because I can already see Squeaky is tracking. So there is potential that they try and go for that second one, get a little bit greedy. Through the window. Are you kidding me? All right. That drops him down. Circle updates. It does encapsulate those drops that we were speaking about, and they have gone for him. So both of those players now are going to be geared up to the 9s. Bystanders are shooting from the little Harry Potter tower. DA have a very, very strong compound. It's not much, but the reason it's strong is because it's rather deep inside the circle. Redline, the Hall of Champions, I'm kind of a fan of it, but it's like long-term trying to evacuate. It's very, very open. So if the circle's favorable to them, yes, it's good. It's fantastic. They're going to be happy. Eventually, when they pull out, it's a very barren landscape once you evacuate that scenario.
There's
Northern
some
Lights
cool
not sure what
pictures
they're going to
of
do just yet.
casters in there, Rich. I like it. There's some.
It's kind
cool
of funny
stuff.
that we actually make an appearance in there, but it's actually through the jumbotron up on the top.
You know what? I'll take it, Rich. I will take it. Look, if they're not going to give me skins, put 4 pixels of my face in a game, because I am that much of a narcissist. I need this. All right, anyway, back to the game. We do have Shift. Oh my god, Shift W's moving towards phase. We're having maybe a fight in prison? Is this just like a fight out in the prison yard? Here we go. Brexico comes in. Zocker's there. He got Uber straight away like, no, get out of my prison yard. The officer's turned up. He's not having any of this nonsense going on. Fuzzface patrolling around. 8C careful now, a little bit more isolated. 8C's in the hangars. You've got the rest a little bit deeper, a little bit further back in. And now we're going to have, oh my god, we've got a fight in the shelter. Brendan, I see you in chat, and I do appreciate you doing this for us, obviously. We like fun circles. He only appears when the fun circles come out. He's like, yes, I'll claim a tribute to this. Very good, very good. However, Northern Lights taking a northern swing. They're going to swing themselves around. I don't know what covers up in the north, really, because this is south of Mansion now, the circle. So I don't think there's too much, but they have vehicles to play around. But Shelter is getting very busy, as is this prison area. We're going to have teams in prison, around prison, by the Harry Potter Tower, just south by the Lumberyard. This is going to get brutal over here.
I think honestly, from the northern side, you have to build your own shelter. Like if you know the lights and you have vehicles, just put them together and do whatever you can. Keep your head down and pray for dear life. You've got to. In fact, I love this. We have a bit of overview of what's going on. You have the most minuscule of dips to be able to actually lay down and keep your head out of the way of line of sight. ETG very aware of what's going on downstairs after losing one of their players. Smoke will go in and just warm Vampire back. Ira onto Besto. TSM pick up a frag onto the side of Na'Vi. That's an easy 1 point in the pocket. And this goes all down on the top side of prison. Now, that's probably why FaZe kind of actually... You kind of look at it and think, okay, why have you gone so deep into prison? You're now boxing yourself in. It's probably to actually get the stragglers that want to try and work their way down. If you've got a vehicle, you just want to ramp it off into prison, you will survive and you will get in there. But if they're there at the bottom, if they're there to collect those free frags, for them, that's just points in the pocket. Again, there is this opposing, alternate universe side where now all of a sudden, if the circle's unfavorable to them, Shift W's in the better position. You can claw your way out to the left-hand side if you want to move to the west and get out of prison, but Shift W should have that lined up all day long.
Should. Nice work from James there, being meticulous in this peak. Didn't overstep, didn't overpush, taking their time to clear as they go. This will call the rest of the pink ponies in towards this area, and these angles aren't sustainable for the long term. Keep in mind this is not in the circle, so yes, quick shot from Example coming in, and a flush to follow. That's further around if you kind of went almost anti-clockwise around the circle. That's where Tornado Energy are residing. FaZe finally get a shot to come through towards Brexico. That's a knock, and the circle's moved away from prison. I mean, there's going to be a riot in that prison now. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6 teams dedicated towards this prison area. Some on the top, Na'Vi about to box in TSM, but do they fight their way out of it? Go look towards Senya. AK to hand, the Kalashnikov looking to go off as Senya going to fall away slightly as TSM are being manhandled by everyone. Orange tab all there. Fuzzface does find a good nade though. That's in the prison itself. As Senya tapping away, just keeping control of this, and it looks like Na'Vi have kept it, I don't want to say clean, but at least favorable for now, as Omakan looking to maybe clean up what's left over.
Maxi and Kemba fall simultaneously. That was Ents back building for quite some time and keeping a track on what was happening across that team behind them. The level 3 gear, guns, whatever else will transfer now into the hands of Ents, but unfortunately, the map, it's not really with them. It's a very, very open side. SLI in the hands of Senya, whatever you can do, you got to do it now, Madu, because you have players all over the place. Dire straits for Na'Vi here at this moment in time with 1 player alive. 3 kills, it's better than nothing, don't get me wrong. Honestly, it may even come to the point where he just denies it. Tab going out, that's a confirmation on the flush that I finished earlier on with Vascu. And for Senya, well, it's unfortunately out of the fire into the frying pan. Tornado Energy at the foot of the hill. That's an easy point for them. Job done. 12th position will be Na'Vi in the final game of this weekend. FaZe Clan, no rest for the wicked whatsoever. This has been a rough weekend thus far. Iraku, last man standing, another one goes down. Klib and Ibby fall simultaneously, though. That's an interesting one. We do see Pink Pony going down, but it's not without an answer back. It's not without a fight. It's not without damage. Vascu going over the top. This is where he could catch FaZe with the pants down. They're sticking the heel easy. That's devastating for FaZe. They're down to 1 player now. Smash onto the Northern Lights, and so do Ents as well. They've gone bye-bye. Thank you very much. Tried to hit this position. Maybe DA held too much for them that they didn't see it. With another team, Liquid member going down, this could be hard for TL to make it into that top 5.
I mean, I'm looking at Tornado Energy doing really well this game. They could push towards the top here. They could jump Northern Lights. They can keep this going now. And it looks like Liquid are on the ropes here. Losing out on Klib. More fire comes in. They're not getting away from this too comfortably. You can see James having to adjust in maybe a less than ideal angle, opening up opportunities from the Redline, for example, just to get away from the eyesight of Tornado Energy, who've kept them very much humbled. Fuzzface out for revenge, out for blood, as you can see Vascu trying to escape away from his murder scene, be undetected. As Fuzzface is having none of it. He wants this kill. He's going to push up for it as well. He's trying to be careful to not overextend and be seen by the bystanders, but he's got to shuffle in now. He knows his options are very limited here. Finds a little divot just to tuck in towards. Now, Liquid are safe in this, so are Redline. DA have to move, Ents have to move, bystanders have to move. Tornado Energy can shuffle in a little bit. They still have the hillside favorable towards where they are currently positioned, but it's far from ideal now.
This has moved into such a barren landscape.
Bloody hell.
1, 2, thank you. There's no way that he moves onto this one. There is absolutely no way. Instant denial. Turn and face away, but his position has been noted. 1 HP and a mere dream. If you stay alive, I have no idea. Come on. The Achilles heel is there. Just breathe on him and he's dead.
Fuzzface is just, he's not accepting any of this. He's going to fight this one out as best he can. Smokes go in. If he can get a couple more points, if he could cost them anything, I would be so impressed. DA have crashed towards Ents. That's sick. They got the knock on towards Squeaky, but Diggory still holds. And Diggory is doing everything required. Finally gets traded in on, though. That's going to be Metralius maybe saving the day for DA, but it's just Metralius right now. He's got Squeaky on one side, Rustamar on the other. A smoke comes in from the supporting member behind them. That's Smash. Metralius goes down, and Squeaky's just about staying alive. Oma could have fallen in the meantime, and Smash is in no man's land. A nade to hand. A molly, maybe. Maybe he'll do just enough. It's got Rustamar, but Squeaky is still there, and Squeaky, we know he can pop off. He can be those individuals to do something that not many others can, and Smash is on the push. He needs his position. He needs to just get involved here, get in their faces. A quick flush, a point grab. Puts it in the pocket and says, guys, I'm doing the best I can. 2 kills for him. And now looks for the further member. Where is this final? Finn! He's got the first shot, sprays him wildly. He gets Squeaky down. But at what cost? They lost everything for this, and it's still not in the new circle.
It's not, but I tell you what, it's better than nothing. To be able to return fire on that and pick up those points, it could just make all the difference. It could keep them damn well at the top by the time we're all said and done. Comes down to Tornado Energy, though. You said they've been quite quiet. They've been picking up points here and there, and they're still inside the current circle, should I say? Excuse me. Bystanders low and slow. They're wandering about to the point where they can actually get some ground. But as you mentioned, Lauren, Quizzy did get across here. He's at the footholds of Team Liquid. The nades are going down, so the position of TL is certainly most noted.
Yeah, Team Liquid have been found out. Good nade coming back in, but Quizzy's feeling kind of aggressive to push up like this. He's got Alia behind him, but I don't think Alia's in the new circle, so there's a bit of a timing element to this. And as the nades keep rolling in, Quizzy's getting chipped away out, but it is draining that utility that maybe Liquid are trying to hold on to. Lovely. Lovely work from James. A little underhand, just rolls it down the hill, says catch to Quizzy. And there you go. Smash does go down for DA, but a valiant attempt and a good performance. But now Ali is in trouble. This is 7 kills. A quiet 7 kills, but 7 nonetheless. And a decent position in that, you know, top 4 right now. Bystanders good position. Redline proactive in the north. And then you have the outskirts, the players who shouldn't be able to convert this. Team Liquid and Tornado Energy.
Solid nade onto Aliyah. But the vehicle is burning. Out of it we go, and it's time to run. Please don't crush him! No! Well, that's one way to end your Sunday, I suppose. My God, these games have just been crazy, haven't they? Like, circles, people dying weird ways, GMT having a mare earlier on. I've no idea. I have no idea. But what I do know is 2 members of Team Liquid are still in this one. 3 members on the top side from Redline. They'll hold the northern hemisphere of this one, and down south you have the bystanders. So the question is, who does Liquid die to first? Liquid could very much put up a damn good fight here against bystanders if they catch them in an unorthodox position. But for me, this is Redline's game written all over it. It's so barren, it's so open on the opposing side. Like, they should just mop up points here.
And Liquid out of the tunnel. Bring the vehicles through. What on earth is this? And they've got to have such little utility, because look how much they used in that fight just a second ago. Moving across now, trying to move up, trying to play to second place. They want to live safe in the shadow of Redline, and that's a really good idea. And if Redline go, you know what, if they're going to help us with bystanders, why not? Can they nab the point, though? No. QBE grabs that one. Short's now been taken. It's Beamy and Flammy, the last 2 standing for the bystanders. Trying to do whatever they can, but out of smokes, I see just 1 molly, and that's just not enough to play with. But Ibby has 5 smokes here, but no vest as well. Beamy now knocked. Redline just kind of proving dominance here, just keeping that position, playing it perfectly. Nail up with the flush, and now we're down to Flammy, and he's not in the new circle. So while all this happens, if he could be a problem to Liquid, that'd be great, but it's not going to be. Flammy goes down, and now we're down to the last 2. Liquid, are you fancying doing something dirty? Are you fancying maybe being a little naughty, or is this just going to go the way we expect?
I mean, all of a sudden, they just throw the hand into the Magic's hat, and they pull out 2 vehicles. They've been keeping them down low for all that entire time. This is against all odds. They've made it to this position. They shouldn't have got across the road. Redline,
if they can isolate one player, that's it. They are spread out. If they can isolate one, but look at the gear. James's vest, broken. Helmet, red. They've got nothing. They've got a couple of smokes here, though. So that's maybe enough to build a slight wall, but if that nade comes through, it's good enough. Ibby needs this pick, and he needs it now if they want a chance. I think he's just seen Ivus. So James, if he can just pay attention towards this, maybe help isolate this one player, they can do something. But as soon as Ibby fires, you know there's a response, so it has to be timed to perfection. There is no time to make mistakes now. The first smoke, and couple of smokes, should I say, is invested. There's the first couple of bits of fire. That's going to be Nail Up just piling bullets in towards the smoke. That's not on the player. There we go. Forced out of position. This is lovely. That's an isolated player. Now it's go time. A quick molly to try and claim the points. A quick turn from Ibby. Good tag on QBE, and now more fire comes in. That's from James. But bear in mind, Liquid cannot take a fight really 1-to-1. They need these shots to be crisp and sharp and be just so much better than the others. But now down to 2 smokes. Ibby trying to maybe get to the body. Upgrade the gear if he gets a second. Let's see what he can get off this. Anything? He's not going for it. Tap, tap, tap. James gets another connection. Maybe Liquid can just maybe summon enough strength. They are down to the last bits of gear that they have. A quick drink to try and get that health just to be ticking up that little bit better. 30 bullets and 3 to spare for the mini with James. And keep in mind, he's got the barrel on the side as well. Now, a 2v2. You've got years of experience at the very top against the world's best. Up against Redline, who, bear in mind, have everything they need to work with. Their gear is superior. Their utility is flush. But Liquid, there's always a chance. They have no right to win this. But the position that Ibby has now garnered is massive.
That all comes down to isolating and taking 1 player. That amount of room they've been given.
Rich, look at the way this could work out. Ibby holds center point. This is under the assumption it works well for Liquid. James catches the cross and does damage. If Redline don't have the right utility left and get caught like this is where it happens. James hits the shot towards Nail Up. That's what you want, but the utility gets thrown towards Ibby. He cannot capitalize, and suddenly his cover is getting smaller. They've split this slightly. Now, James might have just spotted one. Not sure. No, he doesn't. He didn't see the player. QBE finds him. Now it's just Ibby in a 1v2. No vest almost, but he catches Nail up again. No smokes, no nades, no nothing to play with. Does he even have the room to breathe? He tries to back away, look for a new angle of approach. Maybe dips away. Finds a touch of cover. The flush comes in, but he slots out Nail up. Another tag comes in. He's desperately working this. But QBE is holding such a pivotal angle. If that tree gets removed, though, game back on. Hits the deck. Takes a second. Nailup has not gone for the heal just yet. QBE now tries to split the difference. He knows the angles, but now here comes the molly and more fire. Nailup, now isolated, looks a little vulnerable, but he keeps hold of this, and he does not allow the upset to